Doodlebud here. One thing to keep in mind if your fountain pen is causing you troubles is one fundamental concept. Keep this in the back of your mind at all times if your pen is having issues. A fountain pen is a controlled leak. Let me show you. We have a little bit of ink inside this pen. And what's happening now is ink is coming out of the nib, coming down the feed out of the nib, and as it's coming out, air is replacing it. You see those tiny, tiny little bubbles, just like in a water cooler. Water comes out, air goes up, you hear the glug glug. These bubbles are tiny, so you don't hear a thing. Now, if your pen is operating properly, that controlled leak will provide a nice ink flow. What happens with a pen is sometimes people say they leak. Well, yes, it's a controlled leak. When they leak excessively, it's because the leak is out of control. Two ways that can happen. One is there's pressure built up in here. It can happen from a pressure change from elevation. This could be at a higher pressure than ambient pressure, and that will they'll want to equalize. It'll force ink out until they do. That could be the cause of the leak. Or this air pocket can heat up from body heat, use, something like that. It warms up, and of course air expands. When it warms up, it'll push some ink out and cause a leak, or sometimes burping. If too much air is entering the pen from this direction through the feed, or large gap through the nib, or maybe there's an O-ring that's missing, you lose control of that leak and excessive air will go in. Of course, if the air goes in, the ink's going to be flowing out. That's one way. So if it's leaking a lot, have a look in this area. The other way you can lose control of that leak is by letting too much air on this side. So if there's a seal back here in the pen, or in your filling system, your converter, or your cartridge, maybe your cartridge has a tiny crack and too much air is coming in, well, as the air goes in, the ink comes out. So if your pen is losing control of that leak, that's what you need to understand, and those are the places you need to check out.